Who exactly is Jasmine Fisher, and why has she suddenly appeared in Walford? From the moment she stepped into the Prince Albert, something about her seemed off, a quiet intensity that caught the attention of everyone around her. She wasn't just another face behind the bar, she carried an air of secrecy, a story untold, and a purpose that was just beginning to unravel. As viewers, we've only just started to catch glimpses of what might be driving her actions, but it's clear that Jasmine isn't here by accident. There's more beneath the surface than meets the eye, and the people of Walford are about to find that out, whether they're ready or not. Her introduction seemed straightforward at first. Jasmine took a job at the Prince Albert, blending into the background while keeping her true intentions closely guarded. She appeared polite, reserved, even approachable, but subtle hints began emerging. There were moments when her eyes lingered too long on certain residents, moments when her reaction suggested she was calculating her next move. Something was brewing beneath the calm exterior, a storm quietly forming, and the audience could sense that nothing in Walford would remain the same for long. Oscar Branning, who has become entwined in her story, couldn't ignore the little inconsistencies. Following advice from Lauren, he decided to confront Jasmine directly, wanting to uncover the truth behind her presence. Questions were asked, and answers given, but each revelation seemed to raise even more questions. Her explanations were smooth, almost too smooth, and it became increasingly apparent that she was protecting a secret, a hidden agenda that she wasn't ready to share. Oscar's suspicions were growing, and with every passing interaction, the tension only escalated. The situation took a sudden and alarming turn with an incident that left everyone reeling. Nigel, a longtime resident struggling with early-stage dementia, had taken his car for a spin and lost control. Jasmine, leaving the Prince Albert, was struck by his vehicle in a shocking accident. The chaos was immediate, the scene intense, but what truly caught attention wasn't just the accident itself. It was Jasmine's reaction in that moment, a reaction that revealed both her resilience and her inner turmoil. Despite the injury, she was angry, focused, and pointedly vocal about her own mission. She made it clear that she couldn't die like this, that someone had ruined everything, and that person would have to pay. Even in pain, her priorities were clear, her objective was singular, and it wasn't about recovery or sympathy. Julie attempted to take responsibility for the accident, trying to shield others from the consequences, but Nigel remembered exactly what happened. He knew he had been driving and later made his way to the hospital to speak with Jasmine, seeking clarity about her cryptic remarks. Her words were carefully measured, revealing just enough to intrigue and alarm, but never confirming her true target or her endgame. Every statement, every reaction, added layers to the mystery, keeping both the characters in the story and the viewers on edge. Meanwhile, Oscar's involvement deepened. His curiosity and concern led him to ask Jasmine about a seemingly innocuous gift, a fruit basket that had arrived at the Prince Albert. Jasmine claimed it was from her mother, who supposedly lived abroad and had sent the thoughtful gesture despite her busy life. Yet as soon as Oscar left the room, her facade slipped. The truth became evident: the gift was not from her mother, but from a mystery employer, someone orchestrating part of her presence in Walford. The attached note read, "Rest up and get well soon. Need you back on top form." The message, simple yet pointed, hinted at a larger plan at play, and it suggested that Jasmine's story was far from ordinary. Every interaction, every small detail, contributed to the growing enigma surrounding her. She was polite but guarded, charming but distant, and every revelation seemed calculated. Her relationship with Oscar added a layer of complexity, mixing genuine connection with strategic maneuvering. Even the accident, while traumatic, became another chapter in the unfolding narrative, hinting at her resilience and determination. Jasmine was not a character who could be understood at a glance. She was a puzzle, a figure whose every action demanded attention and interpretation. The layers of intrigue surrounding Jasmine only grew as she navigated her early days in Walford. Her presence at the Prince Albert was not just professional, it was deliberate, a placement that allowed her to observe, interact, and, perhaps, prepare. The cryptic references she made about someone who had ruined everything suggested a targeted focus, a calculated pursuit. Viewers could sense that each action, each statement, was part of a larger picture, one that was slowly taking shape in the complex social web of the square. Even the seemingly small details, the fruit basket, her cryptic words, her measured interactions, spoke volumes about her intentions. She was a character built on mystery, on subtle hints and calculated moves. The narrative unfolding around her relied on tension, curiosity, and the anticipation of what she might do next. Every scene, every conversation, became a piece of the puzzle, keeping audiences engaged and eager to understand the full scope of her story. As the story progresses, it becomes clear that Jasmine's presence is not incidental. Her introduction has set off a chain of events that affects multiple residents of Walford. Relationships are tested, trust is questioned, and the potential for conflict grows with each interaction. She represents change, disruption, and intrigue, all wrapped into a single character whose true motives remain just out of reach. The audience is left piecing together what little is revealed, connecting dots, and speculating on what her ultimate goal might be, even while staying strictly within the factual events shown shown on screen. The combination of her mysterious past, the accident, and her subtle lies creates a compelling story that demands attention. Jasmine's determination to follow her own path, her careful orchestration of interactions, and her ability to remain enigmatic even in moments of vulnerability make her a character that viewers cannot ignore. Each development in the narrative builds tension and raises new questions, sustaining interest and engagement as the story unfolds. By focusing on the factual details, the accident, her words to Nigel, her interaction with Oscar, and the arrival of the fruit basket, the audience is guided through a storyline that is both understandable and captivating. Every event is tied together by her presence, her choices, and the reactions she provokes in those around her. There is no filler, no repetition, only a continuous build-up of suspense, curiosity, and intrigue that keeps viewers watching, wondering what comes next. Even without delving into speculation, the story of Jasmine Fisher is full of tension and drama. Her arrival, the accident, her cryptic statements, and the subtle deceptions surrounding the fruit basket all combine to create a narrative that is both complex and compelling. Viewers are left on the edge of their seats, piecing together the clues, interpreting her motives, and anticipating the next twist in her unfolding story. In every conversation, every glance, and every action, Jasmine's presence challenges the people of Walford. She's an enigma that disrupts the ordinary, a figure whose motives are carefully guarded, and whose story is just beginning to take shape. The audience is drawn into her world, compelled to follow every development, and left wondering what the next chapter will reveal about this mysterious newcomer. As she continues to navigate her new life in Walford, Jasmine's story remains a fascinating combination of mystery, resilience, and carefully measured actions. Each moment, from the car accident to the gift from a mystery employer, adds depth to her character and keeps viewers engaged. She's not just a character in a soap opera, she's a catalyst for drama, a focal point for tension, and a figure whose every move sparks curiosity and speculation, all while staying firmly grounded in the factual events shown on screen. Walford has seen its fair share of drama, but Jasmine Fisher's introduction is unique. Her calculated approach, the way she balances personal connections with hidden intentions, and the intrigue that surrounds her interactions ensure that viewers are invested in understanding her story. Even when the details are sparse, the way she carries herself, reacts to situations, and navigates relationships creates a compelling narrative that sustains attention and keeps audiences engaged. From her arrival at the Prince Albert to the car accident and the subtle deception regarding the fruit basket, Jasmine's storyline is carefully crafted to maximize tension, curiosity, and emotional impact. Each development builds on the last, creating a chain of events that captivates viewers and encourages them to keep watching. Her presence is disruptive, mysterious, and deeply engaging, a combination that ensures high retention and sustained interest throughout her storyline. The mystery surrounding Jasmine Fisher is far from over. Her actions, words, and interactions continue to shape the narrative in Walford, creating suspense and anticipation. Every revelation, every subtle clue, and every carefully measured moment contributes to a story that is compelling, engaging, and rich with drama. Audiences are left eager to see how her story unfolds, what secrets will be revealed, and how her presence will continue to impact the residents of Walford. Jasmine Fisher is not simply a character, she's a puzzle, a force of intrigue, and a central figure in a storyline that promises drama, tension, and emotional complexity. Even strictly sticking to the facts, her arrival, the accident, and her interactions provide all the elements needed to keep viewers hooked, invested, and eager for the next moment in her unfolding story.